it always starts the same way. Quiet, normal, ordinary. You're having coffee, checking emails, maybe watching the news in the background, and then something shifts. The screen goes black. Your phone signal vanishes. The hum of the fridge stops. You step outside and the street feels wrong. No sound, no traffic, just silence. The grid's down, the power's out. And as panic starts to ripple through the neighborhood, one thought hits you like a brick. I should have been ready. Because in that moment when SHTF truly begins, the store shelves are already empty. The gas stations are chaos. The help? It's not coming. That's when regret sets in. Regret for the gear you thought you'd get later. For the supplies you assumed you didn't need. And it's those 7 specific things, the ones we're about to reveal, that suddenly become priceless. Let's start from the top. And imagine how each one plays out when everything you know stops working. Number 1. A portable water filtration system. Not fancy, not expensive, but it becomes the most valuable tool you own within hours of collapse. You're at home, the faucets are bone dry, and you're already feeling it in your throat. You remember that half-used pack of water bottles in the pantry. That's it, that's all you've got. Now you're looking at puddles, gutters, rain, collection. Water is everywhere, but none of it is safe. Unless you have that small pocket-sized miracle that turns contaminated water into survival fuel. It's not dramatic, it's not glamorous. But in a world gone silent, the sound of water flowing through a filter is pure hope. And those who didn't prepare, they'll risk sickness or worse, just to drink. Number 2, a solar-powered light source with USB charging. You never realize how deep the darkness gets until you live through your first night without power. No street lights, no glowing screens, just pitch black silence. You're stumbling, panicking, hearing noises that weren't there before, but not if you had this. Imagine clicking on your solar lantern. The warm beam slices through the black. Your hands stop shaking. You can see, you can breathe. Even better, you plug in your phone and bring it back to life. Even just for a few minutes. Maybe you don't have service, but you've got maps, documents, offline messages, information, and in a collapsed world. That's a form of power most people won't have anymore. You're not just surviving, you're staying connected. Third, a reliable multi-tool. You're trying to seal a door. You need to open a can. Your shoelace breaks, and you've got to improvise a strap. Your stove isn't working, and you need to adjust wiring. In normal life, you'd dig through drawers for separate tools, but now, you've only got seconds. That's where the multi-tool saves you. One compact item, pliers, blade, can opener, screwdriver, it's in your pocket. It's always ready. In that first 48 hours, when everything's falling apart, your multi-tool becomes your sidekick. You start to feel capable, resourceful, human again. While others are still figuring out what broke, you're already fixing it. Number 4. Layered. Self-defense tools. When society breaks, it doesn't announce it. It creeps in. First, it's looting across town. Then it's your street. Then it's your neighbor pounding on your door. And not because they want to talk. In this new reality, calling the cops isn't an option. They're gone. So what do you have? Maybe a firearm? Maybe a tactical flashlight that blinds at 1,000 lumens? Maybe pepper spray? Maybe a door brace that buys you precious minutes? These aren't just tools. They're force multipliers. And when you're defending what little you have left, food, family, shelter, having options is the difference between surviving the night or becoming the next target. Number 5. An emergency crank or solar-powered radio. Let's play this out. The internet's down, no TV. Your phone's useless. People are spreading rumors, martial law, mass evacuations, wildfires, cyber attacks. You have no idea what's true, unless you crank the handle. Static, then a voice. Real-time weather alerts. Official broadcasts, warnings, orders. That radio becomes your ears to the world outside your home. It's not entertainment, it's survival intel. Where to avoid, where help is spotted, where things are getting worse. In a crisis, confusion is deadly. But with a radio, you gain clarity. You make smart decisions when others are blindly walking into danger. Number 6. Shelf-stable emergency rations. The first 12 hours, people panic. The first 24, they clear the stores. But by hour 36, they're knocking on doors. Desperate, hungry, aggressive. You don't panic. You unzip your pack and pull out a heat-stable MRE, or tear open a 3-bar that can keep you moving. You eat in silence, away from windows. You feel your energy rise. Your mind stays clear. And most importantly, you don't have to leave your shelter to go scavenging. Hunger makes people reckless, but because you prepared, you stay one step ahead. Quiet, fed, focused. And number 7. A serious, no-compromise medical kit. Not a handful of Band-Aids. Not a plastic box with expired aspirin. We're talking an IFAK gauze, compression, antiseptic, gloves, trauma shears, tourniquets. You're chopping wood and the axe slips. You're fixing glass and it slices deep. Or worse, you're in a confrontation and someone gets hurt. There's no ambulance. You are the first responder. That kit, it turns a fatal wound into a fighting chance. And the truth is, in any collapse, injury is inevitable. It's not if, it's when. So you'll either be the one who watched someone bleed out, or the one who stopped it in time. Now pause, breathe, look around your home, your backpack, your car. Do you have all 7? Or are you trusting the system to stay strong forever? Because here's the thing, when SHTF begins, the countdown doesn't wait for you to catch up. Either you're ready, or you're watching the people who are take the last supplies. And those who laughed at prepping, they'll be the first to fall. So check your list, pack your gear, and when the lights go out, you'll be the one who already knew what was coming and acted before it was too late. But let's push this further, because real collapse doesn't happen like a Hollywood explosion. It's not a single moment, it's wave after wave. You survive the first 48 hours. Good, but then comes the test. Can you sustain? It's day 5. You've rationed your food, your water supply's holding. But now your neighbor shows up, eyes sunken, hands trembling, asking for just a little. You give them something, they leave. But tomorrow, they come back, with others. Word spreads fast. Kindness turns into expectation, expectation turns into demand. And just like that, you're facing a crowd, not a friend. That's when your preparedness isn't just about stuff. It's about mindset, discipline, planning. Because when the world unravels, emotions become weapons, and the ones who survive, they stay focused, firm, and invisible. Let's zoom in. You're on your 7th night with no power. You haven't heard a car in hours. No sirens, no home of life. It's just you and every noise outside your door. Branch snapping, gravel crunching. You grip your flashlight, keep it off. You listen. It's not an animal. Footsteps. Slow, measured. Someone's out there, and they're not calling for help. They're scouting. You remember the door brace you installed. You quietly grab the pepper spray. You're ready, but praying it doesn't come to that. This is what survival really feels like. Not dramatic, not heroic. Just tense, constant, alert. Your body adapts, your mind sharpens. This is where preppers rise, and everyone else breaks. And while others are burning through candles or trying to recharge phones with car batteries, you sit with a solar bank full of energy. Your radio crackles with updates. A town 20 miles out is descending into riots. Another is evacuating. But here, you're calm. You know when to move, when to stay put, because you planned for it. The chaos doesn't catch you by surprise. It unfolds exactly how you expected. You sip filtered rainwater, log details in a notebook, conserve calories. Every item you packed is working in sync. Your gear isn't just stuff, it's your system. A rhythm, a defense, a second brain. But here's the hardest part, the emotional toll. The moment it really hits you. Maybe it's the silence after a gunshot in the distance. Maybe it's when you finish your last can of food from the shelf. Or maybe it's the 4th time you have to tell your child, no, we can't turn the lights on. It's in that moment that the reality sets in. This isn't temporary. This might last weeks, months, maybe longer. And that's when your mindset, your ability to adapt and remain calm becomes more important than anything else. Gear is critical, but mentality, that's what keeps you alive when everything else fails. Now imagine someone who didn't prepare. They thought prepping was overreacting, that things always bounce back, that someone else would come save them. Now they're out of food, out of options. Desperation does something to people. It erases morality. And if you think your front door will stop them, think again. In a full collapse, desperation breaks barriers, physical and mental. That's why every item on this list isn't just about comfort, it's about control. The ability to maintain your space, your decisions, your future. You can't afford to wait for maybe, because maybe doesn't work when the shelves are already empty. So here's the final question. What's stopping you? Is it money? Most of these items cost less than a dinner out. Is it time? Setting up a bug-out bag takes a weekend? Is it doubt? Look at the world. Look at the headlines. Blackouts, supply chain chaos, civil unrest. Economic collapse isn't a sci-fi fantasy anymore. It's tomorrow's front page. The people who survive will be the ones who prepared quietly while others laughed. And when the lights go out, when the water stops, when your phone's just a useless brick, that's when your preparation speaks louder than any words. Because survival isn't built on panic, it's built on foresight. You don't need a bunker. You don't need military training. You just need to be a step ahead. To start with these 7 items and expand from there. Because once the event begins, there's no pause button, no reset, just the world as it is, and you, either ready or vulnerable. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the next disaster to knock. Start now. Stock the basics. Train your instincts. Become the person who doesn't just survive the collapse, but leads others out of it.